Hello everyone. In this presentation we're going to be talking about the Planning, Recording, and Reporting Management System, or PRR as we'll call it. So the learning objectives for this presentation is that you will learn about what PRR is, why it's important, what proper planning techniques are, how to record data and other important information, and how to report on your activities and tasks. So what is PRR? Well, PRR is something that I've created to help the administrative side of our officers. So as you can see on the screen, there's two sides of being an officer. There's the administrative side and the leadership side. In the other presentation, leadership, you'll learn about leadership. Here you'll learn about administration. A lot of times, I guess the way to say this is that leadership is kind of more of the face of the officer, as the administration is the hands of the officer. And so what really gets done through leadership is through administration. And the PER system is to really help make things more efficient, more effective, and overall just be a better officer. And then in the leadership side, you'll learn about how to actually use the kind of face stuff, the interacting with individuals, motivating people, those kinds of things. So why is the PER system important? Well, it's important for many reasons. So first, it sets the standard for what needs to be done in the behind the doors of leadership, which I just kind of described. Next, each part of PER is essential for being a good fraternity officer. So you can't just say, oh, I'm the junior dean, all I need to do is plan. Or I'm the secretary, all I need to do is record, and such and such. Each officer has his own important part in doing each of these sections, planning, recording, and reporting. Lastly, proper PER ensures accountability. That is probably the biggest thing that this system gives to us as officers, and for the chapter, is that we can hold each other accountable to getting things done, to making sure that things are getting passed on to the next officers. I guess it would be actually two things then, is that we're going to get things done with this system and that we're going to be able to pass things on with this system. So let's go ahead and start breaking each part down and talking about them. The first one would be planning, and I love this quote. It is Amat Victoria Quran, which is victory loves preparation. It's something that originally comes from the Art of War, but it was popularized by, I think, The Transporter or one of Jason Strathan's movies. And I love it as a great quote to just kind of keep a kind of a theme in our mind of when we're thinking about being a good officer. We need to keep in mind that victory loves preparation. And so for our main tool for preparation for victory is the master calendar. So with the master calendar, what it is, it's not exactly what you see on your screen here. That's just kind of a visual representation of the whole year, but it's just some sort of calendar. What we'll be using is the Google Calendar to put down everything that's important to the fraternity, whether any kind of deadlines, events including brotherhood dinners, house cleanups, or even as officers will set little breakups of like, all right, here's a point where here's a day that we need to check in on midterm grades, or here's a day we should, have an actives meeting to check in on pledges. Anything. It's just we're gonna put our heads out and plan the whole entire, at least semester, maybe even year, all on the calendar right there. So then we're not on our toes all the time, wondering what's up next, and nothing catches us off, in surprise. The other big tool that we'll use, and to go back to the master calendar, the secretary is the main one that's responsible for the master calendar, but the executive council is the one that will do the creating of the master calendar, of course. To get a little more detailed for planning, so kind of managing our plans from week to week in more detail, we're going to be using a program or app called Asana. And you can find it on your phone, it's also on your laptop. And what it does is it allows for more detailed planning and communication for specific events and projects. So it uses collaborative task management. And I guess it's better just to show you guys than try to describe myself. So let's go ahead and check out Asana real quick. So here's Asana. You guys will just like in your browser, you'll type in, Asana and then search it. And then you go into the login. And the way you guys will log in is you have already your own usernames and passwords. All the passwords are the same. They're GoCoogs345. And I will give you guys your emails. It'd be like humanservicechairman@acacia.org, or Gmail. It'd be WC Acacia Human Service Chair at acacia or gmail.com. So that information, your guys' login information will be given to you separately. But once you guys get logged in, you'll come to here and it'll probably take you to just your general My Tasks. Well, let's go ahead and look at projects. So I already put Learn Asana. This is what we're going to go through and talk about right now. So first thing I want to point out to you guys is that there's Acacia projects versus personal. So right now we're on Acacia, acacia.org, and then you can switch over to your own personal projects. So Asana is great that it can be used for your own uses if you want to make projects into classes and then break your classes down into different, assignments or whatever you want to do. And awesome for just tracking and making sure you're getting your own stuff done. But then on the Acacia side, I guess you can call the work side, we have our own projects if there's things we need to do as an executive council. So let's go and just say we did that one. So the first thing I want to show you guys is how to create tasks. So pretty easy. I mean, you just click on it. You can press like enter, and then you just create a task. So that's basically it. Nothing too hard. Next thing is assigning tasks. So you click on here to assign the task. And so you can say, oh, that's going to be me. Or let's say this one will be the human service chair. So there it is, humanservice.acacia.wcu@gmail.com. I can just assign that to him. So you guys learned how to create a task. You learned how to assign tasks. Now you guys will notice they have different templates when you guys make a project. You can make, let's see, I can show you guys the templates. So when you go to do project, new project, then you got blank project, you can do a calendar, you can do an ideas list, meeting agenda, all these different choices. And I chose to do a meeting agenda for this portion that we're going through right now. And it automatically had these little subheadings. Well, maybe you want to make a new subheading. So what you do is you'll do a little we'll say old business. We'll add that to this. And then to make it, you just put a semicolon. And there you go, you got old business. And you press enter, and now you have a new task. Boom, boom, boom. Another task, boom, boom, boom. Good to go. So we got that. And so the next thing I want to show you guys, so that's kind of basically how you run and use it. Even like out of this project, just learn Asana, I can quickly switch over to the calendar for just this project. So whenever you put a due date on something, give it a second to load. So like calendar, I'm going to say this is due tomorrow. Let's go ahead and just say it's for me. And then we'll go to the calendar and it'll show me that this task is due tomorrow and it's due by me. Show my nice little photo. So that's pretty nice, and that's for each project. Or you can even just go to my task and go to an entire calendar of everything. So I think that shows you guys. Let's go ahead and we'll look at see here again, here's my task, all the things that have been assigned to me. And I can just go on the calendar and see all the things that I have been assigned, rather than just things out of the Learn Asana project. So one thing I want to do is run officer meetings using Asana. You can just set an agenda like this and say, okay, what do we need to talk about from last week? What do we need to talk about for this week? Set a agenda for this meeting. So I'll write down like what we're going to do. And then when we're done or going through our meeting, we can just enter new things, follow up for next week, things we need to do from our discussions. We can add due dates to them immediately, assign people to them, and that way people don't commit to a task and then it just gets left to the wayside without being recorded or forgotten. So an awesome place to do officer meetings, so click that off. One interesting thing too, following projects, is you get a dashboard. So let me see if I can just get over here. So yeah, you just click on the general thing. And so you can assign who's the project owner. We're just going to go ahead and say it's me. When is this project due? We'll say it's by the end of the month. What are the details? Learn Asana. You can even and you can give all kinds of status updates to let everyone else know how your project's going. Say this is a project for Greek week, and the junior dean's going to say, the project's on track. And then you can say, doing great. But the cool thing is this dashboard over here. This shows you when your tasks are made and when they're completed. So we have 5 remaining, and then we have 5 completed. So it gives you a tracking look at how close are we getting to this deadline and how many more tasks we have. So we've already done 9, yay, and we just got 5 more to go until the end of January. So we can it looks like, judging by this, we're pretty well on task. We're doing great. If it was more over here, we're the day before and we have, 10 tasks to do before the next day, that probably would send up alarms. So that's the dashboard. Now communication, you'll see you guys got an inbox over here. And in the inbox, it'll just tell you basically what's been going on. So who's made a new project, who's been assigned stuff. If you've been assigned stuff, it'll notify you here. You can also even communicate with different guys through Asana. Let's go ahead and mark all as red. And you only get 3 dashboards at a time, so choose them right, but it shows all your different dashboards in one place. Let's go back to our project though. And that's basically it I wanted to show you guys. Like I said, you guys can click on each other and see what's going on with each of theirs, their task, add in people, all these different things. So Asana is very awesome, and I want to use it for our officer meetings and our week-to-week just planning out what we need to get done, and just breaking projects down simpler so then they don't seem too overwhelming. So now let's go into recording. So what we're going to do for recording is we're going to use Google Drive. It's a chapter account given to us by Acacia headquarters. The email is wsu38@acacia.org. You just sign into Google with that, and the password again is GoCoots345. And what we're mainly going to be using Google Drive is, well, first to start off, to let you guys know what it is, Google Drive is an app within Google. So if you have your own Gmail account, you'll have Gmail account, you'll have your own email, Gmail, you have your own calendar, you have your own Google Drive. Like I said, you guys have all your own Gmail accounts, so you have your own emails, your own drives, your own calendars, but then we're all connected on Asana. And then we all have access to the chapter's Gmail. And so the main two things that we'll be using, well, first, the reason why we have this chapter Google Drive is because headquarters wants to share with us their resources, so things that other chapters have used or things they've made for us for being better officers. And it's also a medium where we submit certain documents like the chapter roster. And actually, it's not submitting; it's live collaborating. You can create the document on there and edit there, and people can work on the document simultaneously. So that's what's great about Google Drive. So the main two important documents in Google Drive for us for recording is the member database and the program database. So the member database holds information on our members and alumni. The chapter roster is in it, as well as information about each member for each semester. And I'll show you guys how that works when we get into it. The program database is not on the individual level, but on the program level. So things like for the social, academics, human service, the different things that make up the fraternity. And so each program has its own metrics to be measured and recorded on. So no, just like we measure, did each member get 12 hours of community service? Well, we're going to measure, well, what's the percentage of guys that met that 12 hours? And that would be in the program database. So let's go ahead and check out Google Drive real quick. It won't be as long as Asana, but so again, same thing. You'll log into Google, and you may end up at Gmail or something like that. But wherever you end up, you just go to this little box of boxes, and you navigate your way to the drive. And it'll take you here to My Drive, and you'll see the chapter resources provided by headquarters. My own folder, gold books for everyone to have, meeting minutes will be posted by the secretary here, and then you guys will have your own officer folders where you'll upload any documents you make while in office, and you can also refer to your old ones. But here's the databases. So first, let's look at the member database. So you'll see there's different sheets at the bottom here. The first sheet is the membership directory. This has every single member that is known to be alive right now, going all the way back to as early as Ernest Frey. And so it has everyone on here and has contact info, which is honestly probably mostly not up to date, but we'll have to update it as we go along in contacting them. And it includes even just our most current members. Now, each sheet will add on more and more sheets for each semester. So like last semester, here's our roster of who was on, and here's information in the columns of just anything we want to know about. Now this will definitely grow, and we can track more and more stuff, so that way we get a full picture of what this member, what is he really doing? Is he really engaging with the chapter? Does he have anything owed? Is he attending chapter? Is he recruiting guys? What's his housing situation? How many human service hours he's getting this semester? It gives us all the information we know for that semester for that member. That way we can easily, everyone can easily track what's going on with each one. And here's the newest one for spring that needs to be updated. Other sheets are just like we track, all right, when's everyone graduating, and that helps us with our rush projections. Um, what are the total number of human service hours each member has, going all the way back into like 2011. And then what is the academics of the members going way back, which needs to be even more updated, but has already been started. So that's basically the membership database. Where you'll find your most time is each officer will be updating this with his own information, scholarship chairman with points, and the GPAs, human service chairman with the human service hours, treasurer, and such and such. So the other one is a program database. And like I said, this one just has each program in its sheet. Recruitment, human service, academics, social, all this, and it has its own metrics, name list length, bids, pledged, such and such. And like I said, we saw our graduation rates, and here's a graph of like how many people we need, how many pledges we need semester by semester to grow, which is something we can update regularly, so we know what's our track. Human service gives us a snapshot of how we've done in the past and how is it fair now with the current. And we got some graphs to show how we've done, so total hours and everything. We can see all that. We even can track how much money we've raised each semester for things like Acacia Clause or any other fundraisers we do. So that way we can use those for award, so when we apply for awards from either Acacia headquarters or their Rete awards through WCU Greek Life, we can use this information. Chapter academics, this is all here as well, showing how we've done each semester over time compared to other all men's or IFC. And then social would be the social chairman can track, what events has he done in the past, when has he done them, what was the good, the bad, and it even has a list of example events, which all can be updated to as well. And it keeps going with each different kind of program, as I mentioned. So that's basically a good overview. What you just need to know is the sheets, and it's pretty simple. It's pretty much just like Excel, and it won't take much to just update this regularly with your information that you gather weekly. I guess actually let's go back to and show you one more thing. So like I said, if you guys navigate to the box of boxes, you can go to the calendar of the chapter Google Drive. This is where we can contain the master calendar with all of our events. So month, day, week. You can even do agenda, so just list it out. I think it really just goes by month. It won't give you a year look because that's not very detailed, but you can just scroll through and see throughout the months pretty easily. So great place to just put the master calendar so everyone can see it. The other thing is, so that's where we'll kind of keep most things digital, but we do need a place to put physical things and something physical to pass down to each officer, and that'll be the officer binders, which you will receive shortly. It's an essential tool to be an effective officer. It contains a lot of information presented in this training, and then more. Things like contact info, old calendars that officers have used, or just any other kind of information about things that they've done. And it's also a great place just what it really is you need to take it to all meetings so you can record the things you're doing. That way, that's the kind of stuff you can pass on easily to the next guy. So always bring it to meetings. I guess that's the main thing I want to drive home with the officer binder is, use it as a reference, but the main thing is to bring it to meetings and to record and take notes in it. Last part is recording. And this is the nice little view of the central guidelines to reporting, the things I really want you guys to get at with your reporting. Every officer will report on what they set out to do last week and what they accomplished and did not accomplish. This will be followed by reporting what you will accomplish in the current week. So each time you guys go up to do your chapter reports, I need you guys to say, okay, last week this is what I set out to do. Here's what I accomplished. Here's what I did not accomplish. And now this week, this is what I will accomplish. And this will just be a rotating thing that we'll do every week. And these commitments will be recorded by the secretary. Most likely, like I said, we'll use Asana to record a lot of these commitments to the officer meeting. But if something happens during chapter where we realize that there's something that needs to be done, that would be recorded as well by the secretary. And then you'll need to report on it to the chapter whether you got it done or not. And this will help with keeping yourselves accountable and also making sure that we aren't letting anything slip through the cracks. Other guidelines I want to mention to you guys when you're doing chapter reports is to prepare and send your weekly report to the secretary before the officer meeting. This is very important to make the officer meeting run more smoothly and also the chapter meeting run more smoothly. And it needs to be a written report. Also, update your report with the secretary before chapter if necessary. And then report what is required of your position. So stick to your position, stick to what is required. So certain positions like the treasurer, secretary, they have certain things that they need to report, and that's covered in your own responsibility and opportunity presentations. Keep your reports concise and to the point. If you have nothing to report, then don't report. Now, on the flip side of that, you should have something to report. If you don't have something to report, that means you're not making progress, you're not getting things done, and there should be something to report. Leave acquiring opinions or other actions for new business. So don't try to do votes while you're reporting or anything like that. Don't try to obviously vote on anything. Just leave that for new business section of the meeting agenda. And lastly, always end by asking for questions. So we've gone through it. I've talked about planning, recording, and reporting. Let's just quickly review what you've just learned. So PRR is essential to properly running an organization. Victory loves preparation. Remember, guys, if we are going to be victorious, we need to have good preparation. The master calendar and Asana are our main tools for our preparation. And Google Drive and the databases are important for Acacia to be in a learning organization. If we are going to really truly test whether we're doing our job well and evaluate ourselves and also pass that information on, learning from our successes and our failures to the next guy, that's how we do it. It's through Google Drive and our databases. And then lastly, report what you have accomplished and what you accomplished each week and give your report to the secretary before the officer meeting. I thank you guys for listening and I hope you guys enjoy this presentation. If you have any questions, just please ask.